Welcome to the channel. This is Geauxgreddy and welcome to the 2021 FIA Manufacturer Series here on GT Sport. It's round number 2 and tonight we are at Suzuka in the Group 4 cars. I am in the BMW M4 M Sport M Package M Max Maximum M, just tons of M in that car. And we have one of the most difficult corners in the race to contend with. As you enter turn 1, you got to carry enough speed to take you all the way through to the back side of the corner at the very apex. Not the inner apex, but the outer apex. But if you go too far, you end up on the green, the Soyant green, not made of just any mere mortal, but made up of poor souls from race car drivers that have touched that green and had to go off the track. And if you make it through this apex correctly and get down on your right-hand side here, you can't go in too hot or you'll miss the line coming out the exit, because you got to get down on that curb to take advantage of the banking on this corner in order to get on that power early and maximize the speed on the exit. So it's one heck of a way to start the race, especially when, like today, you're on cold, medium tires, or hards if you so choose. So let's get into the race and see how everything pans out. All right, so here we are in the lobby after qualifying. I am in qualifying position number 7 with a 2:06.342. Not a bad qualifying time, but unfortunately on my second time around, I bended in that corner you just looked at, went a little too far to the outside, put the left tires into the green stuff, and well, that ended my qualifying session. So I had to park it in the garage and watch others go out for a second time around, and some of them were, fortunately for them, able to get in front of me. So starting off in P7, let's see if we can't move this race car up towards the front. All right, here we go. We get the 3, 2, 1 countdown and we start the race. Managed to grab second gear. Pretty good there. Not hit that rev limiter and stall your momentum forward. Ferrari in front of me with the level 10 masterclass warming techniques of his tires. Not sure what he's on, but we will soon find out. Behind me, Childish Javi in a Lexus. So we've got Ferrari, myself, and then a Lexus. I think it was a Lexus that was behind me. I think that's what Childish Javi's driving. So everything's starting off good. We made it through corner 1 fine without any problems. Unfortunately, everyone in front of us also made it through corner 1 without any problems. So no Greddy passes to start the race, but we are pulling in the Ferrari pretty quickly here. And he looks fairly slow through the S's. And while the BMW is pretty good in the S's, it is not, head and shoulders above all the other cars. So I'm starting to think that TGP Alex here has on those hard tires. He's trying to sneak a set of hards in to the front of the pack. And then as we come into the heavy braking zone, I didn't even really have to brake that hard right there. And he was kind of squirreling all over the place. So I was pretty certain at that point he was absolutely on the hard tires. And now it became a matter of trying to find my way around. As you can see, P5 ahead of Alex. Looks like he's stuck behind 2 cars. 1 or 2 may also be on hard tires. As the Orion driver goes out wide there through the spoon turn. And it gets bumped off at the very end there by Alex. Alex didn't seem to want to give him too much room to come back on the track, but that was didn't have anything to do with me. So heading through 130R, the Ferrari goes wide. I know now that the Ferrari has dirty tires. I brake just a little bit late to get that nose out in front. Headed into a Sky side by side. There's not enough room for 2 right there. And he backs off because he knew he had the dirty tires. He wouldn't be able to hold it coming out the other side. So, clean pass by Greddy through Ascari on the Ferrari with dirty tires. Now I've got a little bit of a problem. The Ferrari is in the perfect slipstream length behind me to send it down the inside. But I'm hoping he still has those slightly dirty tires, slightly hard, and he's not going to be able to hold it as he comes through turn 1, and he is indeed not able to make it stick down the inside. So I'm able to slip away here on the medium tires, but unfortunately had to press on them a little too hard in the beginning of the race. Really what I want to do is just really want to jump in the slipstream of the guy in front of me and kind of save those tires a little bit at the beginning of the race. and I was hoping more of the people behind me were on hard tires. Not that it really matters. There's a half a dozen one way, 6 the other. But it does make it a little difficult to get by some of those folks when they are on the hard tires, because you're trying to fill it out too. You don't want to be a complete jerk as you're going around the track against a lot of these guys who you race pretty often. So I'm behind Nth Proxy, who I do actually race pretty often, and he has put himself right behind Peepo. I'm not even going to try. And Peepo has a half-second penalty. So if I can get onto Nth Proxy's tail, we can pass Peepo here in the penalty zone coming up after Spoon. And the way Nth is all over the backside of that P3 driver who qualified in second, it's kind of telling me he is also on the hard tires. As we enter into Spoon, I can tell you he is on the hard tires. So good thing that he has the penalty so that I'm able to make the pass here on lap 2. Hopefully I can get through him and maintain the slipstream of Nth Proxy. So he goes through the penalty zone, serves his half-second penalty, and I jump in here behind Nth Proxy, and I do indeed manage to stay in the slipstream. As you can see right there, 0.6 and counting down as we come out through 130R into the heavy braking zone here at the end of lap 2 into Ascari. He goes in deep. Nth Proxy goes in deep. I have a really good run coming out of Ascari onto his rear bumper. He's going to hold the inside line. I was like, doggone it, if he could have slid just a little bit outside, I could have set it down the inside of him heading towards turn 1. So looking pretty good right now, lap 3. Pushing hard for P3 on lap 3. So I get just in front of Nth Proxy. He backs out of it, peeks down the inside just a little bit, and then we exit turn 1. Nicely done. And it's time to put the head down and see if we can't catch up to P2, who's got about a 3-second gap on us. Meanwhile, having to hold off Nth Proxy behind us, who's looking pretty game in that Mazda Atenza. All right, on to lap number 6. Nth Proxy was in and out of my slipstream here. It looks like I was about to break it, so I really wanted to break it late here and really try to get a good run coming out of Ascari. Break late, cut this corner nicely, get on the gas early, but I didn't quite take the angle I needed to, so I went wide, had to let off the gas. Unfortunately, that gives Nth Proxy a pretty decent run down that inside line on me there. Now, I don't know if the BMW just had more legs than I thought it did, or if the Tenza didn't quite have as much as I think it should have, or if Nth Proxy backed out here. But we end up going through turn 1 here at Suzuka in front of Nth Proxy, and but he is firmly back into my slipstream, staying well within Proxy of Geauxgreddy. So I don't know if that's what Nth Proxy means, but he's doing a good job of it. So let's fast forward a little bit and see what happens a few laps further down the line. All right, on to lap number 10, heading back towards Ascari again. And this time, Greddy's tires are about toast. So I'm going to put her in the pits here, put on some fresh hards. And it looks like Nth Proxy was going to go on, but then changed his mind when he saw me going in the pits. Dude, I laughed so hard during the race when I saw that. I was like, he's like, oh crap, Greddy's going in. I got to follow him. So anyway, so the strategies were, the hards and the mediums were required. Softs were allowed, but the pit stop was between 22 and 24 seconds, depending on how you measured it or whatever. So you just could not make up the time by putting the soft tires on at any point during the race. It's just too long of a pit stop. So, and in essence, you just had to run the mediums and the hards. So really the only choice you had to make was, when did you want to stop? For me, that was lap 10. I come out in front of Peepo, who is on the mediums, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna let him by up here probably at the hairpin, and he gives me a little nudge there. I'm like, yeah, okay, dude, all right. And like I was patient with the Ferrari, I needed him to be patient with me, but he is not. Gets into my rear quarter panel there and spins me out. Well, now he's got me pretty pissed off. I'm just gonna run him in the sand if he gets alongside of me. I know that's not what you should do. I'm like, just a little bit of patience. I'm gonna let you by. Because I'm trying to also get away from the people behind me. So I'm sorry you started on the wrong tire, but don't blame me. So right here, I'm gonna brake just a hair early, so I'm going to brake right there after the cones. I'm going to stay to the outside, let him go down the inside. There you go, see? Greddy's going to let you by. Just slow your roll. Don't get your underwear all in a wad, Mr. Peepo. He'll let you by. So Peepo gets on by. And of course, he takes like, a quarter inch of tread off the rear of my fresh racing horse. That was a little upsetting. And of course, that Magan is slower than snot on the straight. So I gave him a little love tap there. And there's absolutely no point in getting in front of him. I would just had to let him by again. Almost get loose on the green stuff there, but managed to hold on to it. Now I'm kind of wondering, is Nth Proxy going to send it on me here? But he gives me a little love tap, sent me on the way, pushing me forward. We got Impatient Meteor in P7, not too far behind. I touch the grass, go through the other grass. I'm trying not to kill Nth Proxy there, give him room on the outside, and I just kind of pull over to the left here and just kind of let everybody go by, get on the brakes early, and just nudged that grass on the right-hand side and about killed me. So I fall all the way back to P8 behind Impatient Meteor and Nth Proxy. No idea what tires Impatient Meteor is on. I know Nth Proxy is on the same tires that I am. So as we head towards turn 1, Impatient Meteor and Nth Proxy side by side. Nth Proxy pulls the lead there on Impatient Meteor. We come out the other side, and boy, sends the 86 down the inside clearly on the medium tires there. What a nice move and some really super clean driving between Impatient Meteor and Nth Proxy after I nearly killed them both. So I get back on the rear bumper of Nth Proxy, a place that I haven't really been at for much of the race. I haven't really been in too many people's slipstream, and I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable now. Nth Proxy was really good coming up that hill right there. He was really getting good drive with the Atenza through there, and just doing a really good job. That's where he was usually catching me, is there and here through the Dagners, because I was just absolutely terrible in the Dagner. So we've got to put the head back down and see if we can't improve our positions here before the end of the race. So let's fast forward a little bit further. All right, heading uphill on lap 16 toward the Dagners. Nth Proxy all over the backside of the DVM driver there, the Brazilian, and heading into the Dagners. I get a decent Dagner 1 and then another decent Dagner 2, and come out the other end and look all right. Proxy almost eats the wall there. I thought for sure he was dead, but he caught the car, and so tip of the hat to him. I thought for sure I was going to get a position. So coming out that the hairpin, I've got a little bit of a run on Nth Proxy, but I feel like he's faster than P5. And I'm feeling like I just caught him because of that one little mistake he made. So I want to give him a little bump back here because he gave me a little bump draft earlier. And I want to see if we can't catch P15. Now I move out to the inside there just to see my brake marker, not to try and send it down the inside. Again, he was racing me clean all race. I wasn't going to do anything silly here to jeopardize my P7 here in this race right here near the end. And I thought we could catch P5, so I just kind of wanted to stay behind him. So again, let's fast forward a little bit. All right, on to lap 17, the penultimate lap, heading into Spoon. Nth Proxy with a half-second penalty for just a minor track cut earlier. But I'm going to be able to take advantage of that here in the penalty zone as we head down the long straight towards 130R. So he serves his penalty, and I have plenty of speed to be able to overtake him here. In fact, have enough speed to get back over the right-hand side to optimize my line through the fast left-hander here. Do so fairly good. Hard tires were tricky through 130R. I did not like the hard tires through 130R. Anyway, got on the brakes there just fine, plenty of time. Come down through Ascari, and we come out the other end. Now, Nth Proxy has got the Orion driver all over the back of him heading into the final lap. So keep an eye on that. And we have the DVM driver still in front of us, but he's pulled out about a 2-second gap. Me and Nth Proxy just making little minor mistakes here in the last couple of laps. So all I got to do is keep it together through here, and something happens with Nth Proxy. He goes wide through turn 1, opening it up to the Orion driver. He's only 1 second back, so he ran us down from quite a bit back. So I'm thinking, well, he is definitely on the medium tires. Like coming through the X's, he is still picking up time on me, and he is also in the BMW M4. So I know he's not in like a much faster car through the S's. So the only thing I can contribute to that too is him being on those medium tires. And as we come into one of my least favorite corners, the Degners, I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal. I just basically have to defend essentially one corner, which would be probably 130R, because he's going to pick up probably a decent amount of pace on me here after the hairpin. He's going to get some good drive out of that with those medium tires. You can see, makes up a lot of time in that hairpin. I have about 3/10 heading towards Spoon, now up to 4/10, so I feel pretty comfortable. No major concerns. I threw my brake balance towards the front one just to make sure I don't drive deep through the corner by braking too late. But I just relax. I send it through Spoon there nicely. Get on the apex, put it back in third, lay it down on the inside curbing there just like I want to. Get on the gas early. Now I see that he's within 3/10, and I know that that is optimal prime to try and make a pass heading into 130R. So I move all the way to the left to let him know I am not going to let you pass here. The last lap, he moves over to the right, and I squeeze him a little bit, but I come out, I give my 5th gear, and I'm going to let him take this line here, and so that I have the inside going into the car. I brake late, I make the apex, he goes wide, I come through the other side, but he pushes me off the track into the dirt and sand. Through a scar, I take 6th place. Didn't give me room on the exit. Then he slows down to give me the position back, but it's too late. He didn't know the finish line was right there. So he tried. I'll give him that. And he was just trying to hold speed through the corner. I just don't think the tires gripped up quite as well as he was hoping they would in that grass. So end up with a P7. That's okay. I end up with 207 points, so that beats my previous round with 190. So I was able to up my points there and got 500 DR points. So overall, a good night. It was a fun race. I had a really good race with Nth Proxy, and it was pretty good with Orion as well, the Orion driver as well. Just a little nudge there at the very end, but nothing too major. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Come back, check out some more of the action. For myself, Geauxgreddy, y'all have a great evening. DJ Clean, take us out of here.